Okay, let's take this image and turn them into this image with a little help from Generative Fill. Let's do it. I think we've all been in situations where we are shooting moving subjects, or you yourself are moving at a pretty fast pace, and you have one image that kind of has a composition that you like, and then another image. So I'm on a boat here and I'm kind of bouncing up and down, and I like the kind of added extra space down here in this image. So I want to combine this little bit of added space with this image here so that this one doesn't feel quite so cramped. And I'm going to use Photoshop's new generative fill to help me out with that. Now, I could do it the old-fashioned way, but it takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more complicated. I think using the generative fill really helps. So I'm going to open both of these images in Photoshop and I'm going to edit a copy. Okay, so here I have my two images. I have this one and then I've got this one with a little bit of extra space. Now I used to just take one and copy it on the other, and then I would expand the canvas and it would be a little bit complicated. So let's make this a little bit easier. So I'm going to take the marquee tool here and I'm just going to select this bottom portion of this image that I want, and I'm going to either go to edit copy, so I can go edit copy, or you can just use the shortcut Command or Control C. And I'm going to click on the other image and I'm going to say Command or Control V to paste it. Now it's going to slap it right here in the middle. I'm going to take my move tool and I'm going to push this down. Zoom out a little bit here, but you can kind of see what happens. It disappears off the canvas. So there's an easy fix to this. Let's go ahead and go to Image, Reveal All, and now I can see that bottom portion there. So I am going to crop this a little bit because I don't like all that white up at the top, and that puts him right along that kind of rule of thirds a little bit right there. And I'm going to extend this out just a smidge at the same time. It is automatically, because I extended the canvas, doing a little bit of generative fill for me, which is really nice. And it's going to give me my three options here. I think the first one probably looks best, so I'll leave it there. But I definitely want to fix this little line right here. So I'm going to do another marquee, and I'm going to select a little bit above and a little bit below that line. And I'm going to use generative fill again. So I'm going to come up here to generative fill. If you do not see your contextual taskbar, you can go to Window and make sure that it's ticked on right here so you can have that. So let's bring this down to where you guys can see it a little bit better. So what do I want to generate? Pretty much nothing, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm just going to let it figure it out on its own. So I'm going to click Generate, and let's zoom in to what we have here. So there's choice number 1, 2, 3. Tough decision, but I think I'm going to settle on number 2 there. So let's get that out of our way and get back to fitting our screen. So now I've added a little bit of extra space. So that was my original image, and I added some space on the back end of this bird and a little bit in my foreground, and I may have added just a little bit too much. So you can just come in here and crop that out a little bit. So there we go. Better to have a little bit more because you can always crop it out. And there we go. So here is back at the beginning and what I created afterwards. Using the new AI to help us out a bit. I like that.